This nigga's so cool.
He's a lot.
The imagery on this alone. Yo.
The video was actually pretty cool.
It's amazing. And he just keeps getting better.
I feel like Kendrick's super raw.
Right. Despite the fact that, like, celebrity has definitely hit him, he's still Kendrick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Him and Chance have that in common. Like, they're not really being changed by the money. It doesn't seem.
The authenicity's still there.
Yeah. And, like, what they're trying to do is exactly the same. Like, Kendrick's coming hard every day.
He's like, but I'm here to wake y'all asses up.
Yeah.
Hey, D.
Hey, C.
All right, let's crank it up. It's been a minute since the two of us been on here. All right, I'm D. I'm C.
And this is D.
And this is Black Meets World.
Yeah.
Right.
We haven't, so here's a treat for you guys. It's just the two of us.
The anticlimactic way that you just delivered that.
Well, whatever. Mac is supposed to be here, but you know how that is.
You know, I don't know who this junior producer is that you speak of.
Why did you call him Junior? Anyway. So
yeah, it's been good. We haven't done an episode with just two of us in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I actually don't know the last time it was actually just you and me.
Yeah. But it feels good. It's getting back to our roots and why there's like
there's a podcast.
But right. I love like the new format. I hope you guys have been listening and enjoy like the new format we got, you know, featuring different people. We got good feedback. Yeah,
and we hope that you guys find it relatable or helpful. If y'all know us / you know people in the city who you think you should have on, definitely hit us up, let us know. Obviously, we're open to connecting with anyone. Yeah, email us, tweet us. If you got our numbers, you know, hit us on the straight to, not even a DM, hit us in our messages. Right. Yeah, so we got a few things to talk about. I mean, we cranked it up with Kendrick already. Yeah, so Kendrick dropped a single called The Heart Part 4 and then dropped a video to another single called Humble. So The Heart Part 4 was cool. I really enjoyed it. But I love Kendrick. I think he is always just like doing some different shit. The hook is basically don't tell a lie on me and I won't tell the truth about you. And I was like, you starting off raw without even giving us what the premise of the album is. Are you looking it up? Yeah, I am. Have you not heard it at all? No, I told you I haven't. Right. I literally told you. I know, but like now we're recording. Okay. Well, since you know the answer. So he's looking it up as I try and... Okay, I'll listen to it later since it's 4 minutes. Yeah, it's wild. It's long. So yeah, apparently there's been a little bit of like alleged backlash. I'm not addressing that foolishness. Okay, cool. We don't have to. But what is good to point out, I would say about Humble, is the fact that Kendrick, like always, is just serving you what the people, just what realness has been craving. You know, you over here calling out shit for what it is. Yeah, and I think he's at least influenced by or supported by people. He's got people in his circle who support that, which I think is hard. I can't imagine what it's like to be a celebrity, but there's always people kind of pulling you in different directions, and it seems like his squad is strong. No matter what he's doing, he's very much supported in the way that he moves, which I like. He said, what did he say? He said, let me see something real. Some asses with stretch marks. Yes, Kendrick, yes. And some afros like Richard Pryor. I'm here for it. Because Kendrick always brings it back home. He said, I know that majority of you niggas have been brainwashed. I know that majority of you women, especially because Kendrick is from California. He is literally raised from the hood, but nonetheless, you know, you still in the glitz and glamour at this point in his career. He's probably had any kind of bad, amazing woman roll up on him, and obviously being in those circles, you're going to see a woman with some artificial hair, fake ass, fake tits, fake waist, fake nails, fake whatever. And that's great for those who want to do it. And I say, hey, I support you. If, baby girl, you want to do that, you do you. But at the end of the day, I appreciate a man who
respects and values and highlights natural beauty.
It's really interesting that you say that because for two reasons. One, I'm kind of transitioning. By kind of, I mean I am. I've had braids for the last year and a half, and I'm going natural.
How long you been going natural?
I just said a year and a half.
Okay, sorry.
So I'm in a weird space about how men, like, I don't know how men feel about natural hair. And
Wait,
so,
have you never been fully natural?
No.
Oh.
I've always been permed. But I've always had, I've either had braids or been permed. So I've never worn my natural hair out. Yeah, and so I'm really self-conscious about it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I want it to be, like, a certain length and look a certain way. And when it doesn't, I'm just like, I have to go back to braids. Like, it's too much for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and I don't know how black men react to it. It's a very weird thing to me.
You've had your hair out before, like short and...
Yeah, but it was permed. And it was, like, just...
Okay. I thought it was natural. I mean...
Oh, over winter break, I did have it out, and it was natural, and it was kind of in a fro. But you weren't here. You didn't see me.
No, I didn't see that. That was like a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah, no. I cut all my hair off. I cut it off real short and had it shaved in the back and just a cute little short cut, but it was perm.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that is when I cut my hair real short and then let it grow for like a few months and then put braids in it, and I've had braids ever since.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I kind of started over, but I still have some perm left, so we'll see.
I've never had chemicals.
Really?
Yeah.
But
never.
you have sister locks, so how long have you had
I
them?
wasn't born with sister locks.
Obviously, but how long have you had them?
2017 makes 11 years.
So most of your adult life?
Yeah, college. College through now.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
And even before that, you didn't?
I never had chemicals.
You just had it out?
I mean, I rock braids or like some type of like twists from the majority of my life.
So like a protective style type thing?
I won't call it protective style. It's just maintenance.
Mm,
I just didn't. My mother didn't know how to do hair. I didn't know how to do hair, so I went to a lady.
We had the same thing.
I went to a lady who braided my hair for the majority of my life, and then I discovered 2-strand twists. So I just started rocking 2-strand twists, which pretty much looks like me having locks right now. So I did that through like maybe my senior in high school, and that's what I just kept. And then I occasionally get my like long poetic justice long braids and shit. Yeah. Which I actually really miss, and I want to get them back with my locks still. But that's another conversation.
Well, I was the same way growing up. My mom didn't do my hair, and I wasn't doing my hair, so here we are. I'm still like that. Yeah. So that's why my hair is always done. But speaking of black hair, let's talk about how Bill O'Reilly said that he couldn't hear Maxine Waters because of her hair.
James Brown wig.
What did he say? Was it James Brown or did he say?
I didn't hear anything that she said because of her James Brown wig was distracting me. It's kind of like what
it was said. So.
First of all,
illogical.
First of all, you old.
There are many things.
Many
things that
unattractive man. You dare come for anybody's looks, regardless of your race or whatnot. Regardless of your conservative opinion, you dare come for Maxine Waters.
Auntie Maxine, I'm here for you.
Maxine's looks. In her words, she said, "I am a strong black woman."
And so here's the thing. There were many layers of this to me. Number one,
I'm glad that white woman clapped back.
It was a man. Like, there was the idea of feminism there. Like,
yeah, I was just like,
just
okay,
because
girl.
You're a man, you're literally talking to her any kind of way. And that part was annoying. But then he made it racial by, of course, referencing James Brown. And so, either way, I loved Twitter. Like, I forget how much I love Twitter until I go back on it. And I'm like, damn, I love this shit. Twitter did not waste a second in terms of dragging Bill O'Reilly. Within minutes.
Give us some examples.
There were hashtags of black women at work. There were hashtags of strong black women.
You got famous from that.
Barely. Yeah, I did get Twitter famous briefly.
She got over 1,000 retweets.
I'm not going to tell y'all the exact tweet because then you'll find me on Twitter and I don't need that. But, but it was essentially along the lines of saying how women are in a loop of always being judged for like how we react to things, and it's always tied to our emotions. So, if we are quiet, we don't say anything, we lack confidence. If we're speaking up, we're too emotional or too strong-headed. If we're, being overly confident, then we're the angry black woman. And so, like, we are constantly in a loop that we can't get out of in terms of how our emotions affect us at work. And I thought Maxine Waters handled it.
She reminds me
So
of anyone's auntie. And you know what the thing is that we associate, these ideals of like what it is to be, a feminist, or what it is to be just a strong black woman. I honestly, not even hate, I'm just really tired of hearing strong black woman, because it's just kind of like, what does that even mean? Like,
so King Williams brought that up last episode. He was saying like strong black man, the idea of strong, and he was saying like we use it to mean something, but it really doesn't mean anything anymore, because we say the word strong to indicate something that is just inherent in how we are, and it doesn't actually.
You don't hear white people saying strong white women.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
I hear white tears because that's what they do all the time. But my perspective is this. It's like, we are the minority, and we are in a disadvantaged position in the Americas. That's why there's this thing called strong black woman. But my thing is, like, when I think of that, it just feels so dated, and it feels just so, like, granted, Auntie Maxine needed to say what she needed to say because she is a woman of a certain age, and she can say whatever the hell she wants to explain what her position is. She said, "You will not defeat me, you old supremacist-minded man," but also just kind of like in that same breath, "You won't intimidate me."
And that's what she said, basically. She was just like, "Hey, Bill, keep it pushing. I appreciate the fact that you are...
You want to distract...
Right, you want to
America
distract the agenda, but I'm not going to be stopped. So you can do what you want."
I'll continue to organize and make sure that this man, Trump, is out of office, and we can uncover the foolishness that he is doing. Back to the story.
Right. If you watch her or follow her on Twitter, her tweets are just so real. She literally tweets every day something like, "Oh, well, today's the day Donald Trump's gonna get impeached." She says shit like that, like, just, "Well, we found out this today, so I hope that Trump has his ducks in a row." Like,
you know what it feels like? It's like, oh, you feel like the real voice in the room. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you're not over here with some type of campaign agenda that's obviously like being curtailed because of, you're being endorsed, or because you're being, manipulated by media or whatnot. It's just like, no, I'm the auntie in the room who's keeping it real with everybody.
Yeah, and my favorite is the pictures of her.
Oh, Auntie Maxine, boy. They showed a photo of her with Coretta Scott King. Like, oh my gosh. I saw that. It was so good. Actually, we're going to repost it on our Black Meets World Instagram page soon. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
But we have a really good, it's like a small little GIF. And it has Auntie Maxine as like almost as a cartoon character with her eyes rolling up. It's the best. Check out our Instagram page, guys. Black_meets_world.
Yeah, but she's constantly on TV. Like the other day,
we love her.
She was on CNN. She said a lot of people don't want to talk about impeaching Trump, but I do. She's just not having it, essentially. And I mean, I don't really want to talk about 45 in general, but her whole position is just like, and it's true. We've never had a situation like this before, like where a president was paying 250 however many million of dollars because of fraud and Trump University, or where 17 members of your cabinet are being investigated for various offenses across many government agencies. And
you're still in office.
And you're just up there chilling and tweeting.
And like New Yorkers, residents of New York City are paying $124,000 a day. So Melania J can live in her golden tower in the sky, and have Secret Service protect that block, because she refuses to move to D.C. because apparently their young son doesn't want to change schools. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What an inconvenience for you to be subjected to living in the White House, which, with your money alone, with the taxes you should be paying alone, would probably renovate that entire house.
Yeah.
That you should be paying, but clearly you're not, because in his words, he's like, it's because I'm a smart man. On top of the fact that they also built a brand new Trump Tower down the street. It's off of, what is it off of?
Where we at, New York or D.C.?
No, this is D.C. They have a new Trump Tower it's new Trump Hotel in D.C. Yeah, they built it right before the election. Like, it was finished. It's fully complete. You can't tell me that there's not going to be a suite specially dedicated to this man. They can't even stay there, because I know it's purely
well, half his other family is not only living there but on the cabinet. He's he's got.
Also they said
Ivanka-
that Secret Service is also protecting his sons for business trips as well.
They're spending an insane amount of money, and he's like not even focused on things. He tweeted today, "Did Hillary ever apologize for receiving answers to the debate? Just asking."
What?
Yeah, like
He got to go.
things that don't. That are so irrelevant that it just is painful. It's painful to watch. So, the other thing that happened was the healthcare bill. So the healthcare, it was like 2 weeks ago. The healthcare bill failed. They didn't even take it to a vote, actually,
because it's stupid and it benefits the 1% of society.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, you Trump supporters, you folks who voted for Trump in Middle America?
We apologize in advance for the fact that we don't give a fuck.
And on top of the fact that your ass will be having high premiums and losing all of your Medicaid.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Don't go to the emergency room with their healthcare bill. Because you're going to have to pay for that shit.
Caught gonorrhea and wanted to go to Planned Parenthood either.
We'll get to that in a second. So, the interesting thing that I found about the whole healthcare bill, which... I'm not a huge troll. Like I like receipts.
I like how you went into that. I'm not a huge troll.
I like receipts, but I'm not gonna go back into archives and find shit. But Black Twitter has taken the time to go back to tweets from 2014 from Donald Trump, retweeting the hell out of him about just the things that he said that he hasn't been able to execute. For example. Well, and this just happened recently, but throughout the election, he was just talking about how he's such a winner and how quickly they're going to dismantle the Affordable Care Act and blah, blah, blah. Immediate. And then when they fail, his response was, I never said we were going to redo it in 64 days.
Right.
I was like, what do you think immediately means? What does that word mean to you?
What?
How many days do you need, fam? If you talking about, we're about to get rid of this shit tomorrow.
He's just a liar.
He's just a pathological liar.
He is textbook definition of narcissist.
Absolutely.
Textbook definition. Do you know that every president has thrown the first pitch at opening games or whatnot? So apparently there's a scheduling conflict.
Yes.
And Trump will be unable to throw the first pitch of the spring season for MLB.
He's also there's just such a culture gap between him and the rest of the world.
He played baseball.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He played baseball in the 60s when he was a teenager,
but
obviously.
I'm just saying,
quote unquote, he said, yes, when I was a great baseball player. I was the best New York had. First of all, there's receipts.
There's a lot.
There's the interwebs. There's the
lie.
Yankees also won a world championship in the 60s. There's just so many other receipts. So I was watching was it Joy Reid yesterday, and she was breaking it down on how the reason he will not be showing up is because baseball is literally the epitome of immigration and how 80% of players are all immigrants from Central America,
literally,
specifically from countries that he is banning: Mexico, Dominican Republic,
the definition
Cuba.
Of you played yourself.
And the fact that these are players who are multimillionaires in America.
That's amazing.
And the majority of their fan bases are also good old boys, who are rooting for homegrown baseball teams, which is Middle America and stuff. And they're rooting for these Spanish-ass people playing baseball and winning all these games for them because he's going to get booed.
That's actually, I didn't think about that. So what I was going to say is just the cultural gap. Obama just was mad cool. Regardless to me about politics, him as a person, people just thought he was mad chill. He filled out a basketball bracket. He's throwing up fist pumps. He's dabbing.
Obama was also a black man.
But
he could identify with the regular person. This nigga Trump has never identified with anybody who is remotely below the 1% of society or who does not look like a white male. Literally, Trump is one generation removed from slavery. He grew up in a household with a person who likely owned slaves.
No way.
This is fact.
He's not that old.
Trump was born in the 40s. Think about this.
Oh, okay.
Think about this, my friend.
He was born in the 40s?
The nigga is 70 plus years old.
You're right.
He was born in the 40s. I want you to really think about this. If he had any old ass uncle living in the house, if he had an old auntie or literally just a grandparent, they likely would have at least potentially maybe have owned slaves, if not influenced some type of commerce around slavery. This is fact.
Yeah, you're right.
Think about this.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. And so, to your point about... I didn't
think about that. If his grandparents just merely lived to be even in there, let's just say if he was alive, if his grandparents lived to at least be, till his 10th birthday, they would have been born in the mid 1800s, my friend.
Yeah.
Mid 1800s.
You're right. He has a legacy of not connecting with mainstream society, but
girl,
my
point is he is the definition of why we still have clown ass people in the White House making these old ass decisions. That's the word I'm looking for. Antiquated decisions that make no sense towards what is happening currently right now happening in society.
Right. It's hard because you can disagree with someone's politics, but them as a person might be at least relatable, or you would look up to them, or blah blah blah. It doesn't seem that 45 really has that going for him at all. The fact that he is really, like you said, America's pastime is baseball. So for him not to go throw the first pitch is a huge thing.
And he's thrown many pitches at many games.
And so for the rest of us, I took a hit when he, not that I can give a fuck about him, but in general, when he didn't fill out a bracket, I was just like, you're so un-American, In my head, I was just like, you literally don't care to even try to relate.
He was born before basketball was invented. He probably doesn't even know what the NCAA is.
Shut up.
He's like, can I make money off of it? Okay, then, whatever.
Oh, man.
This is real shit. You know what I also thought of? I mean, for the fact that he is also just removed from just society because he is a white male billionaire. He was probably raised in a house where his grandparents knew slave masters. If not, they were slave masters themselves. Mm-hmm. But think about how narcissistic he is in the fact that he thinks that everything he dreams up or thinks up is fact, and he is being vindicated by the fact that he is president of the United States. He doesn't need that notch on his belt. He wanted it for the sake of him just wanting it. Mm-hmm. This ain't adding to his pockets. Well, technically it is, because he's going to get more global notoriety.
Well, and if he doesn't get impeached, he'll still make a certain amount of money afterwards, no matter what. I think the presidential salary, once you're not president anymore, it's somewhere around $400,000.
I thought that's more than what they make just right now. I thought they make no, I remember because when Clinton was in office, he made $350,000 a year or something. It was under $500,000.
That's 2 years ago, 20 years ago though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That was when Clinton was.
So I don't know. Don't quote me on that, y'all, because I really can't remember.
I remember they showed that the president made less money than Michael Jordan. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, they don't. It's not because it's still government. They're not making. I don't know. They're not making what you think they're making, but they're set for life.
They just do usually a president
You get whatever pension.
Bush or someone like that is going to do something to set themselves up to make more money afterwards.
Exactly. And I feel like, once Obama's done giving out these speeches and giving us all the lectures, and giving us all this new tan goodness and whatever. Did you see the picture of Michelle floating around today in her natural hair? Girl. Once they decide that they're done being on vacation, they're going to make so much money. Because they're going to just go, run a university or be lecturers or professors and shit.
They're probably making love for days at a time, waking up when their bodies tell them to. You saw me out with Richard Branson on his private island. Michelle in this beautiful hair.
She got a lot of hair. And I was like,
I mean, that is her hair.
No, I know. We've been used to them switching it up on us.
Baby girl has pressed her hair off for ages. We over here looking at a photo of hair with Michelle's hair back in a little ponytail.
The baby hair is right up front underneath this bandana.
Michelle's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. Anyway, so... Yeah, I mean, back to just the point that he's unable to relate, then you also have them pulling the funding for... Them pulling the funding for Planned Parenthood, which... the meme that was or the articles, everything that basically shows you the picture of all these white men in a room determining what women can do with their bodies is just so ironic, because this is the thing that people don't understand about oppression. Let me just let y'all know. If you reverse the scenario and you realize that can never be the case, that is oppression. So think about it. If there was a room full of black women telling white men that they'd go to jail for 35 years for raping women, that would never happen. Or
Why are
think
people
about
in here and there's no
think
other
about if
voice of reason?
white men were lynched for catcalling black women.
Bruh.
Would never happen. So when you see these things and you're like, oh, like black people do this, that's reverse racism, and that's not what it is. And it's literally because there are certain groups that just cannot oppress the other group.
Also,
so
can you make sure to like explain that there's literally no such thing as reverse racism?
That also is
because
true.
there's no institutionalized oppression that can affect the majority race.
Yeah, and so in the same vein, like Cee just said, it just doesn't exist, and they don't seem to understand like why we're consistently upset as women and as black people. Y'all just don't get it. And so actually this brings me to something else which wasn't really probably on our list, but I listened to, there's a new podcast. Did you ever listen to Serial?
Yeah, they have a new one.
So Serial and This American Life did a podcast called S-Town.
I heard it's good.
It's great.
My boss actually told me to listen to it.
It's so good. And so the reason that I find it good, I mean, the story's good. Like the way they do it is really interesting.
I heard it's different from the normal Serial. It's not like...
No, it's not the same narrator. It's not... Well, right.
I heard the narration is really good, though.
Yes. Brian Reed is the reporter who does it, and he's really great. Sarah Koenig, I loved her when she did Serial, but he's just as good. For me, though, and this is not necessarily a spoiler, the story is about white people in Alabama. And they're like in bumblefuck Alabama. We're talking...
What's the city?
Bibb County.
Bibb County's in Georgia, too.
S-Town stands for shit town. And they're literally in a county where there's no bar. It's mostly rural.
Is it dry?
No.
It's just small. Okay.
It's just super small, middle of nowhere, whatever. And so, Brian Reed is interviewing all of these white people in this county, and just the insight to how they live was amazing to me, because I learned so much just from listening to that podcast about how little I know about other people. We've talked about the bubble that we live in and stuff, but it didn't really, you can read or you can like Google things, but to hear these people talk about how they live and their general lifestyle, I just was amazed. And I was like, I can see how y'all would sit here and vote for Donald Trump. That's how I felt when I was listening to it. And it felt really enlightening, because I've never really been in a position where somebody has explained to me, oh yeah, I voted for Trump because of this. That should never adds up. But listening to just their general lifestyle is like, oh.
Give an example.
I mean, there's this guy, so the main character, and like if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear about this, and it's not a spoiler about the actual story. He lives on like 100 plus acres of land. He's got this bush maze that he's built. He's got 21 dogs that are all strays that he takes in, and he's built a dog house and just takes care of them. His mother lives in the house with him, and she's like allegedly got Alzheimer's, and his whole life is just him like going down to Little Caesars and like getting a pizza for him and his mom, and they like sit in the house where they don't have a TV. The windows are boarded up in her room because he's like afraid that she's gonna leave. He doesn't really let her go outside, and
oh my gosh,
yeah, it's like straight up Hicksville. That's how they live. And so as the story progresses, at some point the mother isn't with the main character, and you realize her health was probably stunted because of their lifestyle, not because she was actually sick. He just had her in this box. Yeah, I mean their way of life literally was stunting her mental capacity, and it's a matter of them kind of being poor, but also just like them being a product of their environment. And we've talked about that, like what that means for black kids in Chicago, what that means for us in New York, but also like these people literally, this man lives on hundreds of acres and like farms all day and works on shit in his shop. And then, there's like a tattoo place where they all hang out, and like some of them sleep because they don't have anywhere to live. It's just bizarre. It's just so bizarre. But that's how these people live, and I can totally at least think outside of myself now to see what somebody like that might think about politics or general society or black people or like Obama versus Trump or Hillary versus Trump or whatever. It's just all about exposure and like your way of life, I guess. It's a really interesting podcast. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. Definitely take a listen to that.
All right. Shout out to S-Town.
Yeah, shout out to S-Town. So it's warm out.
Spring's here, my friend.
In New York. Spring is here. People were out in the park today. Cee wore a cute little skirt.
Baby girl, I just tried to dress like the weather was telling me to.
With her toes out.
I said, it's cute outside. Let me go ahead and put on a little sandal.
Yes, sandal weather is approaching. So Cee and I kind of got some plans coming up.
Oh.
Since it's getting warm. And everybody's getting restless.
What you got planned?
Yeah, I'll go first because mine's quick. I'm halfway considering coming to Atlanta for Cee's birthday weekend. But I'm going to Miami for my 25th birthday in June. And then I'm going to Europe for 10 days in the beginning of July. And then I'm going to St. Thomas for a week in August.
Nice.
You guys should remember Hannah. If you've been rocking with us for a while, Hannah was our friend who's from the Virgin Islands. And so her and Chris are getting married in August. And so, yeah, we're all going down for a week.
That's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited for Miami and Europe. I'm hype as hell to go for their wedding.
Good for you.
It's going to be great.
I can't believe you're turning 25.
Yep, fresh quarter century, girl.
Oh, my gosh. I still feel like you're like 23. That's amazing.
Which is only 1 year younger than I am right now.
Well, technically, it's 2 years younger than what you are this year.
Okay. See, what you doing?
So, I'm having the Dirty extravaganza. All right, so my birthday is May the 9th. I'm going to Vegas with one of my really good friends. She's celebrating. Her birthday is actually 10 days before mine. So we're doing a big birthday trip with like a bunch of our friends from LA and Atlanta and New York. So we're all going to Vegas. She's never been. So we're doing like a big Cinco de Mayo weekend out there. Gonna come back to New York. And I'm actually gonna be having a cannabis-infused birthday dinner that I'm treating my friends to. And I have a friend who is a chef. And we're going to have it at his house, and he's going to make all the food, and we're going to have some cannabis oil that we're going to
Wait. This is in Vegas?
If you were listening, I'm going to be having a chef here in New York City at my friend's house.
Am I on this list?
Nikki, can I finish? Good grief.
Sorry, all I heard was...
Yes, you're invited.
You said treating my friends, and I was like, wait.
Yes.
Did she say I'm invited?
Yes, so I'm going to have appetizers, entree, and dessert that will be THC cannabis infused.
This sounds fucking dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to come, my friend.
Oh, no, I'll be there.
So I'm doing that. Plus, I have another friend who's amazing, and she does wine pairings. So she's going to be doing some wine tastings and pairing it with cheeses and all kinds of other stuff, too. So it'll just be a very intoxicated night. It's going to be on a Tuesday. I don't encourage anyone to really have any plans that next morning.
Strolling. What day is this happening?
May the 9th, my birthday.
Oh, you're on your actual birthday.
So strolling to work maybe like around a clean 11 a.m. Just be prepared.
All right.
Because I'm also hitting the booty club that night too. So it's an annual tradition. And then the next day I leave for Ibiza, and I'm gonna be going to a soca festival with some friends. And then we're gonna be doing like a blues cruise and stuff on the Mediterranean. And then we're gonna be heading over to Barcelona for a few days. And then I come back to New York for a couple hours, and then I fly to Atlanta to celebrate as a finale with all my friends and family. So it's like a month of celebrations.
Let me just be very clear with y'all. If you don't hear from us for a week,
listen,
don't
put this on me.
I'm not putting it on you. I'm just saying both of us will be traveling. Mostly Cee will be traveling.
I told you, I am flexible. Y'all will not... Listen, the podcast ain't being affected because of my schedule. Ask Dee what she got planned during all these weeks with her extracurricular after-work activities.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm busy. So, cool. So, the summer's about to be lit. It's definitely getting warm out. This is going to be my first summer living in Jersey City and living close to the city. So I'm really excited and also just concerned for my well-being.
It's fun.
Because I was out when I was living far away, so now it's just going to be a whole other situation. But I'm really excited, so yeah.
It's lit, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. It's been a minute. Yo, July will be 2 years.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy.
July will be 2 years. Cee is still working on a party.
Listen,
We're actually going to get an intern.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was like, so we are growing. We're getting an intern. So a lot of this will be a lot more organized. You're going to be able to find us on all kinds of social platforms. And you'll see us at events. So you can actually come
kick it with us.
Yeah, we can do like an actual live recording, which we've been talking about for a little bit. It'll be good. We growing, y'all. We excited. We want y'all to keep listening. Spread the word to your friends. We want to become like Serial. Hell. Let everybody know. Put us number 1 on that podcast.
Podcast app.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, we just wanted to give y'all this little check-in with Cee and Dee. You can follow us on social media, black_meets_world on Instagram, Black Meets World on Twitter and Facebook. You can also email us at blackmeetsworld@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's it, ain't it? Facebook, Instagram, Twitters.
Yeah.
Gmail.
We still don't have Snapchat, but like I said, I don't think we're going to have that.
It's a little dangerous, but we could.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Peace.